And let me tell you about my solution to our community crisis, and it's simple. We take action right now. That's my plan. And we're going to be elected on May 6th. On May 7th, we're moving into City Hall, and we're going to take action. That's it. We're taking action. And this is how I want to do it. I want to do it by investing in our communities. And I understand a lot about communities. And I was once told by a mentor of mine that said, Brian, if you change a child, you can change your community. And I went on to do some volunteer work for one of our boroughs here and spent time mentoring a young boy for a year, and I really got to see how community works on the ground. When you invest in our younger generation, it pays back tenfold, sometimes 100-fold. And so I understood how it works, and it requires 5 things. And pay attention to me, write these down if you want as well. It requires 5 things to create great community. First of all, you have to identify people who want to help, like me, when it came to me doing the mentoring, like people like Jamal Edwards, who I'll speak about shortly, who's done great work funding his community centers. People like David Hay, who want to help get these boxing gyms back up. He's from Bermondsey as well. Next, you need people that need help. That's our children in our communities, other people, moms, grandmothers, other people, men as well, that just need help in the community centers. 3, you need infrastructure or a location or a system of processes put in place to enable this to happen. 4th, you need cash. This is really important. You need money. And I've been told by our friends out at Wally Foster Community Center, every time they go to see the mayor and ask him where the money is, he goes silent because he doesn't give them the money they need. And I have a solution for that. And finally, 5th part, you need communication. You need some way of letting these people know what's happening. And I want to talk about all 5 of those things because I know those 5 things really, really well. And so it's all about bringing those people together through those tools. And again, we've got people out there that want to help. We've got people out there that need help. We have some community infrastructures in place right now, like places like Wally Foster, like places like Friary Park out in Acton that Jamal Edwards supports. But we need more. We need more of that infrastructure, and we need more investments. We need cash, and I want to talk about that shortly, and we need communications, and I bring that through all of my digital platforms as well. And like I said, I was speaking recently with David Hay, who's currently enjoying himself down in Costa Rica. Big shout out to David. But he was in London Real World headquarters a couple months ago, and he said, Brian, he said, I see them closing these boxing gyms down. He said, I know what it's like to be a young man. You're full of all this energy and sometimes anger. You got to get it out. He said, this is only going to lead to crime unless we can find a way to reopen these boxing gyms and community centers. And David said, Brian, I want to help you. And I was having similar conversations with Jamal Edwards, and Jamal is an incredible young man. He founded the SBTV YouTube channel. He's a fellow YouTuber and built it up into an incredible media empire that supports hip-hop and grime music. You know, he put people like Ed Sheridan on the map. I mean, he really broke a lot of great grime artists back in the day. And he also found an incredible and innovative solution to take private funding from private companies and pump it into community centers. And Jamal was recently, a couple years ago in Acton, and he noticed that one of his local community centers was closed down. And he said, what's going on here? That's the community center that taught me how to do music and video. If it wasn't for that, I don't know where I'd be, but I sure wouldn't be probably the founder of the multi-million-pound valued SBTV. And so he looked into it, and he said, I can find a way to get corporates to write checks to invest in these community centers. And I was actually just speaking with Jamal a couple days ago and asking him, Jamal, how can we take this to the next level? How can we reach out to companies like Amazon and Uber and Barclays and HSBC and pool tens of billions of pounds and then inject it in an accountable and a responsible way into the hundreds of community centers in the 32 boroughs of London that need our help? This is the wave of the future of investing in our community centers. And this way, we don't get the excuse from the mayor when he says they have no money left, even though we know that's not true. We take the money and we inject it directly from these corporates. I know how to cut a deal. I know how to get the phone of the CEO of a major company on the phone and said, guess what? This is a win-win situation. You've been taking a lot of money out of the community. You've been doing business with the community. It's time to give it back in a win-win situation, empower these youth, reduce knife crime, and create the entrepreneurs of the future. This is a no-brainer, and it's how we plan on completely changing the game when it comes to communities, and it's going to have a massive knock-on effect when it comes to knife crime. And so I look forward to working with Jamal Edwards and building more of these corporate-funded community centers. They are going to be a game changer. It's going to require infrastructure. We know where the cash is going to come from. I'm going to provide the communications, and then we're going to need your help identifying the people and the children and the young people that need our help in the communities, and the mothers as well, and all of the people, and the people that can help them as well, the mentors and the community leaders that can take them to the next level. Again, I like to look at London through a business lens. How can we get it back to work? How can we fund this in a right way? How can we look at our transport infrastructure through a business lens? And I've proven here, and I've got people behind me that want to make this a reality.